Good evening, everyone, and blessed be. This is your host, Aries StarWind, and welcome to another episode of Readings at the Witching Hour. We're going to continue our reading of the book Wiccan Beliefs and Practices with Rituals for Solitaries and Covens by author Gary Cantrell. We're actually going to finish up the chapter of getting started in Wicca, and we have two really good sections coming up with a pretty interesting ending. I did read ahead on this, and I'm definitely looking forward to sharing with all of you. So here we go. We're going to continue with Deity Invocation. The deity you will invoke during Sabbat or Esbit rituals will be dedicated by the ritual itself. For Esbits, it will of course be the goddess of her manifestation as Earth Mother, the Silver Lady of the Night. For Sabbats, the invocation will include both god and goddess, and will be driven by the ritual associations and requirements of each festival. Chapter 4 on Mysteries and Rituals lists sample invocations for each Sabbat and for the Esbits. The following is an example of a generic goddess and god invocation. Earth Mother, creatrix of us all and protectress of us all, the Wicca. By all the thousands of names by which you are known, we ask you to join with us this night. Be with your children, bring us your love, your guidance, and your protection. We bid you welcome, dear lady. Welcome and blessed be. Sky Father, creator and protector of us all, consort of Our Lady, by all the thousands of names by which you are known, we ask you to join with us this night. Be with your children, bring us your love, your guidance, and your protection. We bid you welcome, dear Lord. Welcome and blessed be. Once the circle has been cast, the quarters called, and the deities invoked, it is usually appropriate to announce to all that the sacred circle has been completed or erected. With all members of the coven seated or kneeling and facing inward, holding hands if so desired, the high priestess or high priest makes this statement. We are between the worlds and within time. The circle surrounds us above as it does below. Let nothing but love enter here, and nothing but love leave here. So mote it be. The next section. Temporarily opening and closing the circle. From time to time, it may be necessary for someone to leave the circle and re-enter it, or to bring someone into the circle who may have arrived late. This is usually done by either the high priestess or high priest, but can also be done by someone that so designates as the keeper of the circle or keeper of the gate. Taking the athame in the left hand and moving to the east of the circle or either side of the east quarter candle, point at the top of the enclosing sphere of the circle. Draw a line downward with the athame to the floor or ground where you had previously inscribed the circle boundary. Then back a foot or so toward the east quarter candle. Either side of the quarter can be used, depending on your physical space restrictions. This action effectively makes an opening in the energy field that is the physical circle. Extend your right hand to the person to bring them in or out of the circle as necessary. As the person steps in or out of the circle, they are generally kissed once as they execute a quick pivot around each other. In order to close the circle, take your athame in your right hand and simply reverse the opening procedure. Start at the ground or floor where you have ended the opening and move the athame along the floor or ground for a foot or so, then back up toward the top of the enclosing circle. The circle has now been closed, and the ritual can continue. All ritual work having been halted during the time the circle was open. We should note one thing about animals, either pets or not. From time to time, an animal may cross the boundary of the cast circle. We recognize that animals are an intrinsic part of the natural environment and may, on occasion, actually be associated with the deity you have invoked. In the case that the animal is a familiar, an animal with a psychic connection between the witch and his or her personal god or goddess, it is given that it will be associated with the deities in some way. Therefore, animals have essentially free rein in moving in or out of the sacred space. An opening or gate is not needed for them, and their movements have no impact on the integrity of the circle. Closing the circle. The ritual has been completed, and it is now time to close the circle. Thank the deities for their help and bid them goodbye. Lady of Silver Magic, protectress of all the Wicca and creatrix of us all, we thank you for being with us this night. Go in power, dear lady. Hail and farewell. Blessed be. Horned One of the Forest, consort of Our Lady and creator of us all, we thank you for being with us this night. Go in power, dear Lord. Hail and farewell. Blessed be. Release the quarters, beginning with the east and again moving Daisel around to all four quarters. The pentagram is again drawn in the air over the quarter candle while you recite words similar to the following, while changing to the appropriate element at each quarter. Spirit of the East, Ancient One of the Air, I thank you for your presence here tonight and for protecting us in our circle. Go in power, Spirit. Hail and farewell. Blessed be. Take down the circle by placing your athame in your left hand, directing it outward to where the circle was inscribed when it was cast. And move around the circle Windershins, meaning a counterclockwise direction, starting and ending in the east. When this act is completed, stand or kneel in the middle of what was the circle and recite these words. The circle is open, but never unbroken. Nothing but love has come here, and nothing but love has left here. So mote it be. Merry meet and merry part, until we merry meet again. Blessed be. So now we're going to, they actually have a little table here to kind of help when you're doing this, and it just quickly talks about candles and incense during your ritual. So it just wants to they'll dive more into this later in the book, but it just wants to give a brief, kind of a quick overview on which each color means and kind of what the incense are good for. So the first table goes by color candles, and the first color is red. And the application when you're using these for ritual or magic, red is for love, lust, anger, courage, protection, or revenge. Orange is for adventures, innocence, and new beginnings. Yellow is for clarity, freshness, wisdom, and healing. Green is for growth, expansion, or material needs. Blue is for health, well-being, or awakening. Violet is for expanded knowledge or fame. Pink is for affection, care, or nurturing. White is for healing and spirituality. And lastly, black is for negativity removal, breaking bad habits or bonds. And next, we have suggested uses for different incense. The first one is lavender, an air incense. Used for any ritual or spell involving clarity, any of the aspects associated with the air spirit or the color yellow. Frankincense, a fire incense. Used for any ritual or spell involving love or warmth, any of the aspects of the fire spirit or the color red. Sandalwood, A water incense, used for any ritual or spell involving cleansing, any of the aspects of the water spirit, or the color blue. And pine, an earth incense, used for any ritual or spell involving wisdom or grounding in the basics, any aspect of the earth spirit, or the color green. And there we are. We just wanted to, I wanted to definitely finish up this chapter before I got into chapter 4, which is Mysteries and Rituals, which we will start tomorrow. But I didn't want to hold off on the end of this chapter. I've been super, super busy this weekend, but I definitely did want to finish this chapter before we start our week, before we hit Monday tomorrow. And yeah, I feel that was a very a great chapter in all, and it's a great way to kind of inform a person who's coming into Wicca newly. It's a great way to kind of give them a base on getting started, especially in the ritual aspect of Wicca. And then, of course, later on in the book, we will dive more into magic and spell work, but you should always know the kind of the base before you dive into something so complex. So there we are. That was the end of chapter 3, getting started in Wicca, and I can't wait to begin tomorrow, chapter 4, Mysteries and Rituals. Have a great night, everybody. Blessed be. Goddess bless.